gold one for 4 hours of farming, and then saber wars. When does maintenance start? I don't know. They still haven't posted any news about it, apparently. Which is weird. How many banners we've got on the first page? All the London and New Year's banners. And all the random miscellaneous ones. Like, if you check the news, they haven't updated it yet. Like, there should be, like, normally they always do some kind of, like, maintenance thing where, or they give notice of, like, them doing maintenance, but nothing on the Saber Wars announcement mentions anything about, scheduled maintenance. So I don't know what's going on. That's definitely very strange. In any case, let's prep ourselves to farm some Rider Daily, shall we? Let's see. LJ. So we gotta bring in Phantom, because I always use him. By the way, I figured out a way to tweak the quality on my capture. It's not really a capture card. I'm not really using one, but the mirroring software that I'm using, SiteSync, I figured out how to bump up the quality. But because I set it so that it's recording at 920 by 1080p, which is the highest it can go. There's gonna be screen tearing and some intermittent lag. I'm gonna see how bad it is, and if it's really bad, then I'm gonna scale the quality down. I don't think it needs to be this good, but just as a little test run, to see just how far I can push it. In any case, put Phantom there, and then I said I would use. I need another wave clear. All right, that, and I can't use Caligula now. Who should I use? Carmilla? I mean, I don't really know how else I'm gonna raise Carmilla's bond, so yeah, why not? She's still got a long way to go. Check Matahari's bond level. She's getting there. I just started Sanson yesterday. So. Phantom, he's got a long way to go. Darius, I farmed a lot of his bond back at Christmas, so he's getting there too. Alright, make sure we're on the proper Rider Daily. Hey, what's up everyone? How's it going, chat? Didn't realize I was streaming. Well, that's because I just started 3 minutes ago. Stream quality at 720p though. I mean, the stream quality and the actual program quality itself can be different, so there is going to be a discrepancy there. That being said, though, you do bring up a good point. So it's probably not even it probably won't even do anything if I tried to bump up my quality to what was it, 720p or 1080p or something like that. So I'll probably scale the quality back down for whenever I'm streaming. I'll just need to remember to scale it back up whenever I'm specifically recording videos, because recording videos actually is yeah, as you can see, there's some screen tearing because the software physically cannot handle it. If it gets really bad, I'll actually just turn off the stream and then restart it with the lower with the smaller quality, whatever. Anyways, what was I gonna do again? Let's see. Is this even gonna matter? I don't think it will, but just in case, we'll stun him. Why save when you can just buy more quartz? Yes, that's exactly my motto. Why do you need to save? Just buy more quartz. Then you don't ever have to worry about saving. You can just blow it all. Not a lot of people have a K-scope on their jacks. There's some people. Would rather use LJs though, cause P5 jack. You may go for Nero Bride or Brynhildr. Funny that you say that, cause I'm actually in the middle of the reason why I want to farm Rider Dailies is one, half AP is active, so might as well take advantage of it while I still can. That and according to my little list here, my little spreadsheet here of shit that I need to get done or to gather. Beowulf still I still need to gather scales for Beowulf, so there's that. Hey, speaking of scales. Alright, for this one I'm actually gonna have to swap Darius out for this. Probably not worth using Phantom's AoE on this one. But then again, I know I did use Eric, but that's a little bit of a different story. Whatever. Let's see. We'll apply defense down. It's not like she's gonna need it for Marie. Yeah, Sean, the weird thing about 20 AP is that even though technically it does have the highest percentage of, or the highest drop chance for crystals, I just found crystals a lot more consistent in the 40 AP, like personally speaking. Like I get a lot more crystals there. That and you can also farm for talons too, so hey, why not? So, ooh, Jack's Brave Chain is up. Cool, let's rip this guy a new one. Beowulf is also not good. He's a good boss killer if you set him up right. If you get his if you get his skill levels decent. Whoa, that was some really bad screen tearing. What the fuck was that? Alrighty. Sorry about that. I was just checking some instant messages over Steam. Lol. Because who the fuck actually uses AOL these days? Lol. Oh yeah, I should also use this guy. Hey, what's up, Divine? How's it going? Not a single forbidden page? Yeah, I know the feel. As for me though, I farmed Berserker 40 AP all day today and yesterday. And I broke my Talon record again. Again. Lol. Hey! Turn 2 scale. Cool. Good farming luck is with me today. Well, you know what this... Y'all know what this means, boys. No MHX for me tomorrow. Lol. Time to get my ass kicked. And they gotcha yet again. Why doesn't Zio have limit broken K-scope on his jack? Him and his max bond level memes. You need talons, but honestly you need pages and caster cookies more. Oh god, Divine, you really don't want to start me on caster cookies. You really don't. Farmed for 6 hours yesterday and only got 3 talons. Oof, that's rough. Why is that Matahari and not Grail? What is this heresy? Sorry, bro. Sorry. That feel when you drop more claws than crystals? What the fuck? Farming luck can be very strange, let me just tell you that. It's definitely very weird. When am I pulling for MHX tomorrow? If you want to be really exact, probably in about 22 hours. Desire sensor is real, yeah. This game trolls the ever-living fuck out of you. Oh, you want this from the gacha? Oh, we'll just give you black keys. Oh, you want this from your farming? Oh, we'll just give you something else. Big old middle finger. Thanks, game. What game is this? It's a mobile game called Fate Grand Order. Welcome to grinding hell. Do I love you guys? It depends. MHX is not that good, her skills are obsolete, they suck. They're not just obsolete, they're not just obsolete, they just blow. But, well, technically her skills aren't bad. By themselves, in and of themselves, they are not flawed skills, except for instinct, but at least that can be upgraded through a strengthening quest, or an interlude, or whatever. So, at least she has that. The main problem she has is the fact that she's not a fucking archer. What the hell is an assassin like her doing with skills like that? Like, it would make sense if she was an archer, but she's an assassin, so it doesn't work. Like, are you fucking kidding me? The one thing that they can ever do the one thing that DW can do, not that they ever will, but the one thing that they can do if they were serious about buffing MHX, all they need to do is just change her class to archer, and that's it. And she'll be amazingly better. Probably not like top tier, but she'll be a hell of a lot better and not at the bottom of the fucking tier list. But, you know. Let's actually try Phantom's Brave Chain. Because we've got LJ's Jack, and she can basically clear the third wave by herself. Interesting to know that even Eric does more damage than Phantom does. Oh, I forgot to switch Darius out. RIP. But that's fine. Designated Saber Killer. Yeah, she's in the wrong fucking class, right? Literally the only person that that MHX could be good against is like MHX Alter, but she's a Berserker and not a Saber. so it just doesn't make sense. She's just like how awkward Nightingale is. How is Nightingale awkward? I mean, she's an arts-based and a medic Berserker, which is strange, but you can make her work. I wouldn't say she's as awkward as Nightingale. You can make a Nightingale work. She's just not an orthodox Berserker. That's the thing. But MHX is super awkward because she's not in the right class, and that's pretty much it. What DW needs to do is buff Instinct. Yeah, but for while that's true, at least for MHX they give her an interlude later on that lets you upgrade her instinct skill, MHX's instinct skill, to like something else. I forgot the name. Actually, I can just fucking look it up for you guys. Hell, let's look up MHX's skills here real quick. MHX, not MHX Salt, MHX Star of Saber. Okay, so her Instinct C+ skill can be upgraded to Star of Saber C++, and not only does it keep the Star Gen like trait of it, because you all know Instinct, it just produces crit stars, and that's it. She produces more crit stars, and she gives herself invul for 1 turn. That's an infinitely better skill than just plain old Instinct. She could just have the invul, and that would be so much better. Pretty much. Like, not even gonna lie. They could have just given her nothing but an invul skill and take away her ability to generate stars, and she would still be better. Or that skill overall would still be better. That still doesn't say anything about her other 2 skills that aren't very good anyway, but oh well. I suppose if you really wanted, you could make them work, but it's probably really tough. Nightingale is amazing. You have her in JP. Yeah. If you set her up right, yeah, she's definitely. You can definitely make it work, especially after especially after her interlude where it buffs her MP so that it inflicts a 50% attack debuff on everyone on the other team. That's fucking huge. That attack debuff that she puts with her NP is super huge. That's what she said too. Let's see, anyone's Pikeman's Zeo. I mean not Zeo. Pikeman's Kintoki is up. Galaxy Meteor Sword sounds badass though. Yeah, but who cares if it sounds badass if the skill itself is complete another dog shit. Well, it's not dog shit. It's just as an assassin, it's not that effective. It really isn't. I mean, a 30 to 50% attack buff is great, but like seriously, you're in the wrong class. Nothing you can really do to contest that, honestly. No, I didn't get jacking. Sorry, I'm just using skills. See if you'll pay attention, there's a little bar that says support over their names. So no, I didn't. Hey, back to back, or not really back to back. It's just actually no, it was back to back. So many dragons already. The Chuny is more important than stats. Yeah, well, at a certain point, I do kind of you'll be wishing that maybe MHX could do a little bit more than just be a trophy item, you know. Wow, Kintoki has his Brave Chain up. I might actually just do that. Too bad I don't have any. Too bad this plug suit doesn't have any. Stun skill, or not stun, invul skills or evade skills. But hey, stun works just as well. At least she has a neat looking NP. Yeah, her NP looks nice. Kintoki smash! Thanks, Kintoki. Shiki best death girl. Unfortunately, she's not that great. Assassin Shiki actually is, according to the meta, but Saber Shiki unfortunately is not as strong. But you know, hey, Saber Shiki will wail for Saber Shiki, that's for sure. Hey, what's up, Mooncell? How's it going? But just for you guys, just an advanced warning for you guys, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream than usual. Usually, I go stream up to like what, 8 o'clock my time, which is in like 3.5 hours, but I've got other plans for tonight, so I'll probably cut the stream short by like about an hour. So I'll probably stream for maybe 2.5 more hours, and then I'll call it a night. But so just to let you guys know, in case, because I know that some of you guys come into the stream asking me how long I'm going to stream for and whatnot, so just bear that in mind. Let's see here. Is Pikeman's Golden strong enough to one-shot Marie? I don't even know. I don't even know why I even had to use that charm skill, because I know she's gonna die anyway. I have everyone's MPs up and running. What am I need to? What am I doing? Just standing around, wondering what I should do for? Blast everyone. Lol. Sorry for asking, but what is the Toho from my name from? Toho is short for Toho Project. It's a series of 2D vertical scrolling bullet hell shooters. It's very famous. I do recommend that you check it out if you haven't heard of it. But yeah, that's basically what my name is from. I also, keep in mind that I also made this name like 6 or 7 years ago. Damn it, no scale. And back when I was actually a much bigger fan of Toho than I am now. But yeah, some little channel trivia for you guys if you care. Lol. Let me check on the assassins first. No? Okay. I'll just rely on Pikeman's Kentucky. Karna and Kentucky have the same voice actor. How? I can see it. I can see it. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what voice actors voice who. Like, you'd be very surprised, to be honest. I'm trying to think of an example. Like, Gil's voice actor actually voices Orion, the teddy bear. If you can believe that. I'm pretty sure. Someone fact check that for me. But I'm pretty sure those two share the same voice actor. Which obviously it's kind of strange, going from voicing someone like Gil to voicing someone like Pedo Bear. But that's how it is. Merlin and Arthur Pendragon have the same VA. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it kind of, from a meta standpoint, it actually kind of makes sense. Cause OG Saber's voice actor also voices Proto Merlin, so it only makes sense. Lol. Let's see, I'm gonna try not to pull Carmilla forward to see if I can one-shot this. Let's see if that works. Oh, it's cool. It's cool that shares the teddy bear voice. All right. Altero's VA shares the same VA or shares the same as Shisho. That I actually kind of expected. That I'm not surprised by, because they kind of both have the same how should I say, tone of voice. I don't know. It's kind of weird to explain, but to me that doesn't sound surprising. Ku is Orion. Yeah, that's what someone else said just now. Poor Kentucky, all the new berserkers run roughshod over him, and then dying Ku, blah 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 blah. I mean, later on, like much later on down the road, yes, but for now, he's actually a very good boss killer, cause he's one of the only berserkers, other than like Herc. Like him and Herc are pretty much the only berserkers in the game who can self-buff their own damage, like directly. And not even Herc has the same attack buff that Kentucky has. Kentucky is pretty much the only berserker right now who can increase his own damage on command from 30 to 50%, and that's huge. So Kentucky is pretty much the best boss killer for now, just because of how versatile he is. Because obviously he's a berserker, so he's basically very effective against everybody. Berserker. Nero and Jack have the same VA. Now that's actually very surprising. I think I already knew that, but if you didn't know that from before, you'd find that very surprising. You're wrong, bro. Oh, are we having a voice actor fights in chat? We're having voice actor fact check wars in chat right now. Hilarity. Let's see. I'm kind of interested in seeing how much damage Zero Insanity's Fran can do. But for now, we'll just stick with Jack. Kentucky has a battery. That's it. Not just battery. He has that too, but then he can nuke people. Potentially, anyway. But you really the one bad thing about Kintoki is that if you want to make him as effective as a boss killer as possible, you kind of have to get him MP levels, and obviously not everyone can whale for that. So that's his one downside. He's great if you have the resources to invest into him to make him good, but if not, then he's obviously a lot more subpar. I happen to have friends on my friends list who have very strong Kintokis because they recognize his potential as a boss killer, so they put a lot of resources into him, and I get to mooch off them. Woohoo! For every cookie you get, you cry a little bit in time, a little bit inside. Oh damn! Then I must have been crying floods. I must be crying floods every time there's a caster daily. How quickly did I burn the 18 apples? It actually didn't go that fast. It actually lasted me about 3-ish hours, 3 or 4-ish hours last night when we got them, because of a half AP, obviously. They actually lasted me quite long. Let's see. You just want dragon fangs? You need them? For now, Kintoki is amazing, blah 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 blah. Yeah, exactly. That's my point, Shinji. That's exactly what I was saying. He's good for now, because he's so versatile as a boss killer. Later on, he falls off, but for now, he's good. At least for just something like class dailies, right? Show us your inventory. I've shown it plenty of times, Rasmus. I've shown it plenty of times. You're telling me you don't watch my Whales Log series where I basically show you my inventory? Like, are you kidding me? You're telling me you don't watch that if you're asking me that in chat? Come on, man. Come on, bruh. But I can show it to you later when I'm like out of AP or something before I consume more rapples, lol. Why is your stream laggy? It's probably not you. What's going on is that if you're seeing like lag, quote unquote, on your stream, it's probably on my end. Not because my internet is bad or anything like that, but it's actually my my SiteSync mirroring software application that I'm using to obviously broadcast what's on my phone directly to my PC so that my PC can stream it. What's going on is that I've been playing around with the quality settings on SiteSync's end because I've literally just learned how to tweak the quality. So now my video should be higher quality now from here on out. But apparently by doing that, it causes screen tear because I'm basically. This is not quality that this application is meant to handle, so you're having things like screen tearing and nasty stuff like that. So this is not on your end, this is on my end. So if you see like stuttering or screen tearing, it's because of my application. And I was going to restart the stream if anything like that happened. But since I said that this is going to be kind of like a shorter stream anyway, and since we already got like 350 people here, I feel like I'll just tweak the quality later and downscale it, because obviously I'm only streaming at 720p anyway, so putting it at 1080p wasn't going to make a huge difference anyway to begin with. So that's one. Long TLDR on my end. Too high quality. Computer can't handle. Lol. Basically. Mom is coming? Yes. In like 4 or 5 months. But Mom is coming. Mom! 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 The meatloaf! We need it now! Rider Kintoki design looks a lot better. I actually like both of them quite equally, actually. Obviously, Rider Kintoki is the the hard the hard ass cigarette smoking motorbiker, and Berserker Kintoki is just basically Colombian drug lords, son of a Colombian drug lord Kintoki, pretty much. Kintoki fans, 4-star welfare riders for game 8. He's people have been going so far as to say that he's literally hands down the best 4-star, best welfare. Like, if you don't have Jack, he's basically like an appropriate, like obviously no one's gonna top Jack, but Kintoki is not that much worse. Like, especially if you're free to play. Like, Kintoki is basically your Jack for free to plays. Yakuza underling. Real question is, why doesn't Lancer Alter have any nips? Well, censorship. Lol. Y'all know what they say. It ain't hentai until you see nips. Lol. He's also the only male welfare servant. Lol. Male representation. Where's my meninist in chat? Lol. For Tight Moon Girls, is plot or justice better? What do you mean? Are you talking about the Yuri pirates? I'm not really too sure what you're asking. Kuro is also a really strong welfare. She's basically Emiya 3.0. That's an unfair comparison because Emiya compared to her sucks dick. She's not even Emiya 3.0. She's in a tier of her own. Like, people were discussing this in the Reddit Discord, but Chloe can at MP5 can outdamage single target archers at MP1 or even MP2 depending on who they are. Chloe is extremely powerful, like hands down. Well, not just hands down, but I'm not too sure if it's like possible to top Kintoki welfare, but Chloe's up there. She's up there. Like, so if you want a single target archer, and you don't feel like wailing, just wait for Chloe to come along. She's basically she can basically take care of any archer single target needs that you'll ever have. She's busted. She's fucking busted. Chloe's fucking rigged. Lol. But yeah, Chloe's pretty strong, man. Pretty strong. Be nice to the red man. He's a good crit. I mean, he does have clairvoyance, and he does have independent action, but like he only has one quick card. His star gen is only 7.9%, which isn't bad, but it's not great either. I don't know. I don't know. Like, he can spam his MP, maybe. If you give him crits, then yeah, most certainly he can spam his MP. So I guess in that sense, maybe. But, I mean, he's not outstanding, from what I can tell. First few welfares aren't that amazing, but after that, you feel like each a bit damn solid. They're all very solid, Shinji. I don't know what you're talking about. They're all very solid. Like, there's no, like, give me a welfare who you think is terrible, like outright terrible. Well, that's probably exaggerating. Obviously, I think it's pretty commonly accepted there's no like outright terrible welfare, but who give me an example of who you think isn't like all that amazing or all that great. Now, I'm sure you can list a few, and I'll probably agree, but I don't think there's no welfare who's just like, oh, just pass him on, whatever. Like, keep him in your inventory, let him rot, kind of thing. Oh, Saber Lily? Oh, yeah, right, her. Haha, I forgot, because I always had her since day one. Oh yeah, if it's Saber Lily, then yeah, fuck her. Lol. Yeah, if it's Saber Lily, then yeah, whatever. Yeah, I agree. Fuck, chat's right. Fuck Saber Lily. Lol. But everyone else, man, other than Saber Lily, because she's so bad that I didn't even consider her a welfare. That's how bad she is. I didn't even consider her a welfare to begin with. Now I feel bad for my own saber Lily because she was one of the first 4 stars that I max ascended back in the day. Now I feel really bad. But Paul Bunyan? Paul Bunyan's really good. What are you talking about? She's just a 1 star too. Are you kidding me? Like, you do understand that Paul is literally geared for farming and nothing else, right? She has an MP that lasts 2 seconds on slow mode. But like, the point I want to make is that every welfare in this game, except for Saber Lily, is great. Assuming you use them for what they're intended for, and maybe even if you don't use them as how they were intended for, who knows? Like, Shinji, I know you said, like, aside from, like, the first few welfares, well, the first few welfares we got are Nobu. Well, let's go in chronological order here. We got Caster Liz, then Nobu, then Caster Liz. Or, no, I already said Caster Liz. Caster Liz, Nobu, and Santa Alter. I would say that Caster Liz is the weakest of the bunch, but she's still an AoE offensive caster with a Buster AoE MP, and we don't have much of those in the game unless you actively use people like, you know, Cool Blue Guy or Shakespeare or the Fister asshole or anyone else who has or Caster Coup, but not a lot of people do. I'm sure that there are some, but not a lot of people do. So being able to have a gold caster with an AoE MP is pretty huge, because she has the stats to back up her farming and let her do more damage. And she's just the weakest of the bunch. That and she has fucking Mana Burst. Like, what the fuck? When did she get where'd you pull Mana Burst from? That's literally, use me for farming! Like, you can't you can't get more obvious than that. Mana Burst, Buster NP, Buster AoE NP. Hello, farming. Caster Liz has a bunch of weird bunching of skills that do a lot of different things. If you watch my how to use the 4 stars video, you'll understand. I mean, yeah, at first glance they seem like they don't do much, but the thing is that she can be a bootleg star gen support, because her first skill has crit star generation for 3 turns, I think, and her 3rd skill just produces stars outright with guts. And if you level her guts, it gives you more crit stars that she can generate. So if she's kind of a crit star support, and especially if you slap on 2030, then yeah, she can kind of be a star gen support. If you don't have anyone else, but yeah, by themselves the skills aren't that amazing. But yeah. She's more like a star gen complement. Like, if you need a few more crit stars that you'll need to, like, ensure that everyone's attacks can crit, then that's what she's for. Other than that, Caster Liz is just there for farming assassins or whatever. Because, hey, Mana Burst. Oh. Is it worth leveling Saber Lily for Saber Wars? Well, considering the fact that she is one of the 2 servants in the event who gains 100% bonus attack, or 100% attack bonus for the duration of the event, which I repeated already, I would say yeah. I mean, her attack by itself isn't that great, but 100% attack bonus isn't something you can just ignore. I don't think. If that's how it works. I'm gonna have to check again, but... Alright, let's see if Jack can tear these 2 into 1. And one thing, Morgan and Guinevere could make good casters? Yeah, sure. Considering who they are. Could you not just keep her in the back if you have stronger gold casters? Yeah, probably. Because there are event CEs that give you bonus attack party damage. So yeah, most definitely, sure. Nobu kills Altera so hard. Yeah. Like I said in my 4 stars video, Nobu is the hard counter to like 5 or 6 servants in the game. %100% plus 7,000 attack equals decent Lily. More or less. More or less. Is it weird that Gi Saber was your most useful 3-star until Bedivere came out, even though it was still good? There is a way to meme the fuck out of Gi Saber. There is a way. People have figured out. People have figured out something for him. The trick is to make his Buster cards do like 65% extra damage, and that involves him constantly spamming his MP over and over. So whenever you get his Buster cards, he does 65% extra damage or something like that on him, like almost permanently, which is really weird and also really memeable at the same time. But yeah, people have done that. So I would say yeah, he's actually if you set him up right and you get him going, then yeah, he's definitely not one to be underestimated. It's just like, you know, there are other more easily consistent ways to make sabers good. How about Emiya Alter or Ejimi or Demia as Tomacat calls him? Detroit Emiya? Let me check. Emiya Alter. There he is. Emiya Alter, bulletproofing reinforcement. Emiya Alter is strange. He's weird. Cause two of his skills rely on like individual hits, which obviously isn't as good as just like straight up 3 turns. Unless you want to consider it a different way, but Emiya's skills are Demia's skills anyway are kind of weird. They're definitely strange. I wouldn't call him like a top tier or anything. Man, hearing Gary is constantly mooing in your ears as you farm is such a surreal experience. Lol. I don't believe that we're going to take out Marie one shot. Unless Jack can finish, excuse me, Hiccup, both of them off with her extra attack. Alright, I'm back. Almost choked on tea. There we go. Now I see the F's in chat. No dragon spawning, die on the inside. Yeah, that pretty much sums up me in like the last 4 hours of Rider Daily. That's a lot of K-scopes. Yeah, 3 of them are mine and 1 on support. K-scopes for days. Amy just gave you 2 quartz for getting Bond 8 respect. Well, all 4 stars do, so it's not just him. Will I be streaming my polls for MHX? Please read the stream title. Unless you truly don't understand what MHX Salt tomorrow means, in which case I'm streaming it tomorrow. Is this the power of the legendary super whale? Something like that. I wouldn't call myself a super whale, but yeah. Alright, let me try to see how much damage Frank can do. In case you guys don't know, if Frank is actually a stronger Lancelot in terms of raw damage. Same time tomorrow? Pretty much, yeah, like 2 to like 3 p.m. Pacific or something like that. So works fast. Look at Fran's level. This Frank is not mine. It's a support. But my Frank is also level 80. So I mean, yeah, I guess. Let me see here. Frank is such a fun berserker. Yeah, I can see that. Frank comes in clutch when you're trying to farm very hard nodes that are otherwise kind of difficult to farm. Just look at the chart, Nero gets more power up than OG Saber. Why? Well, if you want to look at it from a meta perspective, they don't want Saber to be like an important part of the game. They've already thought they're considering this game not to be Saber's game, so they're kind of leaving Saber on the back burner. Excuse me. Says not a super one. No, in Discord says they farm it. Well, if you here, let me open your eyes. What's your name? Let me open your eyes, DJ Max. Go to the Reddit FGO Discord and go to the channel where it says NA Farmville, and you will know what kinds of whales lurk NA Farmville. You look at that, and most definitely I am nowhere near the same caliber of whales as the whales that lurk there. But, you know, obviously not all Discord servers are like that, so I understand completely. It is Zero Insanity's Frank. Let's see how much damage Zero Insanity's Frank can do to the third wave. Because Frank is insane in her NB damage output. NA Farmville is a scary place. Yeah, I lurk it. I'm at home there. Lol. Divine, you finally got a gold chest off the books in Soho and it's freaking caster cookie. You need them, but are you kidding me? Oh yeah, the gold book at Hyde Park, they're fucking trolls, man. They drop you the most amount of gold chests because they're a gold type enemy, obviously, but half of them or like a third of them are like caster cookies, and it fucking infuriates me. Especially someone like me who's already got 2,000 fucking caster cookies or something like that, and it's fucking whack. I'll tell you that much. Excuse me. Let me see here. Actually, I can actually just fucking straight up use fan main for this, because fuck this asshole. Nah, Toe's an ordinary whale. I mean, I'm not an ordinary whale, I'm a farming whale. See, there are 4 tiers of whales, or 4 groups of whales if you want to categorize as that. The lowest tier is a whale is the whale that only whales for gacha, and that's it. The only time they'll ever drop insane amounts of money is to pull like new banners and stuff. Those are the lowest tier of whales, the gacha whales. The next tier or the next group is is composed of whales who farm a lot, like me. Like they may or may not pull on all the banners, but they farm a lot, and that's that. And then the third one is whales who basically do both, which is actually what I'm in personally. Farm a lot and then roll a lot, but they don't roll like obscene amounts, like maybe to like free to plays. Yeah, compared to them, yeah, definitely maybe, but. And the 4th tier is just cosmic whales who do basically everything. They get MP5 everything. They fucking farm to hell and back. Yeah, everything. Actually, let me see if I can do that. I didn't end up using Phantom's NP anyway. Am I really gonna spend my money trying to get one of the worst assassins? Yes, because I want all the servants in the game. And considering the fact that MHX never comes back on Rada pretty much, this is my only chance. So, yeah. That's Rexlent. I wouldn't consider Rexlent a farming whale. He might actually, because I don't know him very well. I don't know if he farms a whole lot. He probably does. So yeah, you might actually be right that Rexlent is a cosmic whale. I know for a fact that LJ is a cosmic whale, but yeah, those are the 4 tiers of whales in my opinion. Jesus. Came to see gameplay, you're getting trivia on Mammal's expenses behavior. Awesome. So basically, I'm ready to whale more than Jack. Well, Jack is like the one exception. But if my luck with assassins continues, then yeah, maybe. I really hope that doesn't be the case. I really don't. I really hope not. But considering my extremely good luck on the New Year's gacha, where I got both Arjuna and Karna pretty much back to back, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit scared. Keep up the good work on your fanfics. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Scorched. I'm definitely gonna try to write another chapter on Recourse Light tonight during maintenance, but I'll see what happens. Because I do have plans later on tonight, but yeah, we'll see. Let's see. Let me try to pick up looks like none, huh? Dang it! He's gonna go for MHX MP2, yeah. At least MP2. Because she's limited, and she's a single target, so, you know, MP2, lol. What do I think of Zis as a whale? I mean, he's a whale. What more do you want me to say? What do you think? What do I think of him? He's a whale. That's all you need to know. It's okay getting the same feeling as the writers. Yeah, it seems like everyone's got their lucky and unlucky classes that they can pull for. Personally, mine are Lancers, which makes total sense. And with me not being able to get Jack, it seems like the Assassins are my unlucky class. We'll see if MHX has anything to say about that. MHX Pick Up Summon is now available in Game Press Summon Simulator. Cool. I don't really care for those because those I feel like those rates are tweaked. Either that or the actual gacha is a lot tougher than it actually is than the simulator one. A lot of people get what they want from the simulation gachas a lot more easily than they do in the actual one. You have to whale just the MP5 Salter. I mean, at least that's better than trying to whale for a 5-star. I mean, if my whaling is any indication during New Year's, you can very easily MP5 Salter, because she's a 4-star. Unless you're one of those people who has really terrible luck with 4-stars, then I feel bad for you. In a very sympathetic way, because obviously no one deserves that. Which of my current party members would I grail, and why not the others? You mean the servants that I'm using right now? I wouldn't grail any of them. Are you kidding me? Like, maybe Kintoki, but even then, not even him. You got MP5 Salter within 80 bucks, and yeah, that's hella fucking worth. That's hella worth. Are you kidding me? Hella worth. You re-downloaded Fire Emblem Heroes just to stop yourself from summoning FGO. Sounds like a plan, right? Or sounds like a sounds like a legit strat. Oh hey, there's Zio's Kintoki. How do you forget about a toothache? Smash your toe with a hammer. Then you'll forget all about the toothache. Kappa. This game teached you long-term planning. It looks like no one taught you how to spell correctly, that's for sure. Hey, what's up, Paradox Philosopher? How's it going? When you love someone but they don't love you back, yeah, that's always a feels bad moment. Feels bad, man. Kind of like my tough love with Tamamo. I love you, Tamamo. Please come to me. And then she doesn't come for after until almost after 1,000 quartz. Rip. Do I have someone I've already planned on grailing? Yeah, like 3 of them. Tamamo, Medi, Lily, and Herc. I'm already grailing them. Alrighty. Who can we absolutely destroy? It's funny as there are plenty of whales in NA too, as well as in Japan. Well, yeah, naturally. NA just has a bigger population, so like just in terms of raw mathematics, you know, we'll have our own fair number of whales here. Tamo's heart belongs to Hakuno. She'll never be yours. Yeah, feels bad, man. She already has someone in life. Rip. Let me see here. We could actually just bump up enemy. Why grail Medi Lily if a role isn't to be beefy or DPS? You must be the type of guy who grails for stats. Omega lol. Why do grails have to be always about stats, bruh? I'm only grailing because I like her that much. I'm gonna grail to her 100! Woohoo! I don't give a shit about stats. Fuck your stats, buddy. I'll grail who I want. You just gotta use Liz as a catalyst, obviously. Problem solved, pretty much. Am I gonna grail Jalter? Probably not. As much as I like Jalter, probably not. I've already committed myself to 100 fully grailing Herc, Medi Lily, and Tomo, and between the 3 of them, that's already 19 grails. And even in JP, they only have like what 22, 23, or 24 grails. So already, even in the timeline of JP, I'm already using the vast majority of grails are right there. So rip. What was I gonna do again? This one. It's all the better if your #1 waifu is also powerful as fuck. Yeah, but I mean, if I really cared about having grailed top tier meta breaking waifus, I can just go to my support and use theirs. If I really care about that, because I'm sure that other people will grail people like Jalter or whatever or whoever, right? So it's all good. If I really wanted to use a 100 Jalter, hey, look, a scale. I can always just go to my friends list, because I know for a fact other people will have it. If I really care about him that much. Want to buy more grails? Yeah, if there were a way for us to buy grails, oh man. Give us all the grails. Haven't you seen that one Dojin? Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. It'd be hella controversial, but if DW ever put out an option for us to be able to buy grails, oh god, we're gonna be all over that shit. You want to grail a servant who can kill Gitia, or however you say his name. Is that right? I mean, I mean, technically, I'm doing it. I'm grailing my Herc to 100 just only for the simple fact that I want to see how badly a level 100 Herc with max skills can wreck him. No buying grails. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, Tenebris. I know, buddy. I know. They'll never do that. But if they could, or if we could. But no, seriously, no. Besides, that'd be pretty scummy. Obviously. Got a level 90 Maria on your friends list. Respect that level of thug life. Yep. Thug life. If we could buy grails at the point of the war, yeah, exactly. Well, what's the point of us getting grails from Holy Grail Wars, exactly? So, again, they'll never do that. So. If you know they could, you would. Well, yeah, obviously I'm a fucking whale. I already put enough money into this game for Alright, yeah. I don't know what kind of name I was gonna call you guys, but we're back! Internet dropped for like a second there, I don't know why. Literally, it's just boom, dropped, and we're back. But anyways, what was I even talking about again? The internet thing just fucking crashed on me. Now I forgot how to say it for me, or I forgot exactly what I was trying to talk about. Rip, whatever. Lost train of thought. Moving on. Hamster had a hiccup. God damn it, Tammy! I remember back in middle school, I was doing some science projects, and I had to buy a couple hamsters for them. So. Speaking of buying grails with money, was bad Civ you were cursed? Really? Is that how it works? Is that how it works? NAFGO is a joke. How so? Are you must be one of those JP elitists, aren't you? Oh my god. NAFGO is such a joke, lol. Omega lol. Fuck out of here, JP elitist. Oh, JPFGO is so much better. Oh, let me just tweak my nipples here a little bit more. Oh yeah, that feels good. Is that what you're trying to tell me, sir? Because it sure as hell sounds like it. You're forgetting Korean FGO? I mean, yeah, I guess, but Korean FGO is the newest FGO server up right now, right? Is on fire right now. Yeah, I heard that Korean FGO is actively trying to catch up to JP. That's what I heard. Which is kind of surprising, but also not that surprising at the same time. Let me see here. Let's try that. The Korean FGO had like 5 banners at once. Yeah, that's what I heard. What caused me to become a whale? So JP the Mexican, in order to answer, or maybe just trying to catch up to China, something like that. I heard that they were trying to catch up to something, either to JP or to China. Either way, they're probably going to overtake us in due time. But I mean, the Korean scene is, let me tell you, they're something else. Me being Korean, I know what they're like. I know what they're like. I know exactly what they're like. Trust me, I am one of them. But, what kind of service am I waiting for? Shooting Doji, Musashi, and Tamalancer. Probably some others that I don't know off the top of my head, but those 3 come to mind first. Anyways, to answer that other guy who asked me what convinced me to become a whale. So in order to answer that, I'd have to tell you the story of how I got into NAFGO in the first place. So it goes something like this. 6 months ago, back in the summer, during the or earlier in the year, earlier last year technically, because now we're in 2018 now. Earlier last year, like during the first half of the year of 2017, my IRL friends introduced me to FGO. Like they just kind of like showed me that, hey, this is a thing. So I was like, okay, yeah, cool, like fine, that's whatever. If that's your thing, then go ahead. I don't really care. They were like, oh no, you should try it. Like, you're kind of a Fate fan, right? So you should try this game. It's meant to bring like, kind of like, general or like kind of yeah, not so hardcore Type Moon fans into the game and all that stuff. I was like, nah, I'm good, because at the time I wasn't too huge into mobile games. I mean, technically I'm still not. FGO just seems to be an exception. And I was like, I'm fine on mobile games. And besides, my phone is really old. I don't think it can handle it. Whatever, yada yada yada. Make all these kinds of excuses so that I don't have to play it. So the first half of the year goes on for something like that, like on and off, right? And whenever my friends and I get out to go grab some dinner together or something like that, they always like bring it up to me, like, hey, why don't you try some FGO? And I'm like, no, and all that. And then comes like around June, like late June, like the last week or so, leading into July. Because in July, that's when Anime Expo is, which is the largest anime convention center, or the largest anime con in North America, and it's in Los Angeles. So, since my friends and I always go to AX every year. AX is what we call Anime Expo for short, because that's their initials. My friend reminded me again, like, hey, FGO is being localized for English, so why don't you give it a shot now? And it's like, why don't you give it a shot now? So I was like, so I thought about it, and then I figured that because, X is basically LineCon 2.0, there's either gonna be downtimes or times that we're just gonna be fucking wasting hours sitting or standing in line. So okay, fine, I'll give it a shot. I'll download FGO, because at the very least it'll be like a time killer for whenever I'm fucking standing around in line or something like that, right? So with that kind of mentality, I downloaded FGO, and then my friends taught me that, hey, it's possible to like re-roll your account so that you can start with a 5-star server, which is like the best ranked server in the game or whatever shit like that, right? So okay, I'll try that. I re-rolled my accounts a couple times. I think I ended up re-rolling my account a total of like 6 or 7-ish times until I got Artoria, who is my first 5-star servant, and that's the account that I'm using now, because I've kept it ever since then. Because re-rolling accounts on my old phone was kind of a pain in the ass, and my phone was not that great back then. I've got a new phone now. That lets me farm to the extent that I do. But back then my phone was not good, so I was like, the moment I get any 5-star server, regardless of who they are, like how strong they are on the current tier list or whatever. I didn't even know about tier lists back then, but I'll just keep them. So I kept Artoria. So that happens, and then we go into Anime Expo, and I start playing it, right? I start playing it on and off, and then I realize that I'm getting like more and more invested into the game, and to the point where I noticed that, or I've gotten to the point where I've leveled up high enough to the point where I'm not able to rely on the AP refill that leveling up gives you. So once I hit that point, I realized, hey, why can't I play this game anymore? And I realized AP is a thing, because the AP, if you don't have enough AP, obviously you can't play. So I was like, well, this fucking sucks. I want to play more, but, there's this stupid mechanic called an AP refill meter, or an AP meter, or whatever like that, right? That basically determines your stamina and how long you can play the game. So I was like, well, that's really fucking stupid. Like, well, FGO's a video game. Even if it's just a mobile game, it's still a video game, and I just don't agree with the fact that you have to pay in order to play supposedly free-to-play mobile game, not just like rolling gotchas and whatnot. That's fine, I understand that, but like paying for AP refills, that's kind of dumb in my honest opinion. But oh well, I can't change that, right? Nothing I can do to change the game that's come out. So that was around the point where I decided that, what, since you can use Saint Quartz, or you can use Saint Quartz to refill your AP and keep playing for as long as you want. That was around the point when I decided that would become like a whale, even though at the time I didn't know that was what the term was. was for. So yeah, around that. And what really solidified it for me was when after Anime Expo was done. Once Anime Expo was all done and over, when we were coming back home and we stopped by a Korean barbecue place as like a little tradition of eating out somewhere nice to celebrate the end of Anime Expo, I decided to just buy a Saint Quartz pack after we were done eating, just to send off Anime Expo with a bang. And then literally on my last, I did one 10 roll, just one. I only planned to do one, and on the last pull, I got Altera, and that's what basically solidified for me. Now I'm a whale who sunk more than $3,000 into the game. Rip. That's my story. Whales Anonymous. Who's next? Anyways, I'll be right back, boys. Alrighty, I'm back. What'd I miss? Am I gonna do a late night stream? No, I'm not gonna do a midnight stream. I'm just gonna do a normal stream. So I'm going to stream tomorrow and whatnot. Tier lists are shit. You don't have to follow them. You don't have to. But they still. It's not like, at the same time though, even though I personally don't like tier lists either, they still are undeniably like they're good at giving you a rough idea of just how good a servant is in the game. I'm obviously tier lists like the one on App Media is more like it's more influenced by meta and what's going on right now. But even still, it's still, you know, a decent indicator of how good certain servants are. I mean, you know, if they put MHX at the bottom, then you know MHX is not exactly a great servant. Like there's not really much getting around that. But you know, you can handle, you can use tier lists however way you want. If you don't like them, you don't have to listen to them, or you don't have to look at them. Why y'all spamming? Why you spamming whales in my chat? Get out of here! They put ON Saber at the bottom of the tier list? You mean OG Saber? Yeah, for good reason. Because she doesn't have any skills that makes her stand out above the rest. Level 6 Alexander trying to farm doors on 40 AP. Rip. Here, have some luck for MHX. It's A rank, I swear. Sad to watch, very sad. Whoa, it's sad to watch me. You're kind of mean. What did I ever do to you? Let me actually swap out Darius. Why is Siegfried so bad? Well, because he's a saber designed to kill riders. There's something wrong with that. That doesn't work. Siegfried's problem is the exact same problem that MHX has. They would have had, their skills would be strong if they were in the proper class, but they're not. So, yeah. Cry because you wish you could wail as much as I could, not like this because he's nuts. I mean, I'm in a position where I'm fortunate enough to be able to have the freedom to blow my money like this on a stupid fucking mobile game. I know that not everyone is, but I am, and I'm pretty thankful for that actually. So, so yeah, I definitely feel for you. I definitely feel for you. If I had gotten into FGO like 2 years ago, because when JP FGO came out, if I had gotten into JP FGO at around the time it came out, if my friends told me about it then I wouldn't been able to wail at all, because I was just a broke college student back then, as most college students are. But yeah, you asked me to wail on FGO 2 years ago and I couldn't have done it. Now I can, because I actually have a steady job and whatever. But, you know, not everyone's like that. Give MHX Summonize skills? Yeah, that would actually work. That would actually work, not gonna lie. That actually makes sense on MHX. Why is Artemis S tier on the JP tier list but only B tier on the English version? Because Artemis is currently much more useful in the JP scene than she is in the English scene. Like I mentioned earlier, the JP tier lists are dependent on the meta. In other words, it reflects which servants are good right now in the current state of JP. Artemis is not good now in NA because there's not really much of a use for her. But come Camelot there will be, and once Camelot releases, oh you can definitely expect Artemis to shoot up quite a few spots on the tier list for NA. You can definitely expect that. Did I say Camelot? Jesus. I meant to say Camel. If that came out as that, then Jesus Christ. Where is this tier list? I'm sure you can find it. I think it's something. I think it's the one on Game Press, the one that's for NA right now. I personally never really taken a look at it because I usually refer to the JP one. We also lacked any real challenging content right now, lol. I mean, you don't have to add the lol, everyone knows that. Well, anyone who also pays attention to JP at the same time anyway. That's no secret. Is MHX based on someone? Yeah, something like someone off Star Wars maybe. Why don't you use your own Jack XDDDDD? Hey, that's a funny joke. Hey, why don't you enjoy your permanent ban from my chat, motherfucker? That's a funny joke right there, isn't it? Haha. Lol. Good joke, right? I'm feeling extra spicy tonight, boys. Extra spicy and extra savage. Which story chapter is that? Is it that when content gets really difficult? Well, most people agree it's Camelot, so. That's harsh. I ain't got no chill. I ain't got no chill, that's for damn sure. Lack challenging content. Well, you have to realize, Jake Campbell, that you get craft essences that increase your party's damage. So, it's not, if you have those and you stack your entire party with it, those attack buffs all stack. So you can get some really crazy damage output. if you have an entire party that has all the event craft essences, like purely Bloom and Star of Artoria. And no, it's not Star of Altria, motherfucking translation team. I don't think Jack can take her out if I put her MP first. MHX is actually pretty good. Well, yeah, because she's a berserker. Jack will come to me eventually. Odds and money will demand it, but then again, all will pay for the for harassing the absence of her spirit origin for a moment. I mean, it's not that I mind. You can if I know it's a joke, which I know that guy was obviously making out to be a joke, but I mean, if you want to be an asshole about it, then you know I can give you the boot. I don't care. But yeah, eventually Jack will come, but I don't know when. Maybe very soon if she spooks me before MHX, which she very well could, or very well may, if my luck is really bad. But hey, I mean, at least I'll be getting a 5-star assassin, right? One better than nothing. MHX animation is so good though. Yeah, I mean, animation is just eye candy though. If she blows, then what good is having a fancy animation set? The Artoria Altria thing was decided on the JPN devs themselves. Yeah, and they're also the same people who decided that pronouncing Skahawk's name as Sukasaha was also correct. So, I'll make my own judgment on that. I mean, I respect the devs, and I know that they're not intentionally butchering translations for the sake of butchering them and triggering Western fans, but it doesn't mean that they're right, because they're still wrong. They did what to Skahawk's name? Well, if you pay attention to how Japanese people say Skahawk's name, they pronounce it as Sukasaha. Which you can't really blame them for, because they have no way of pronouncing Skahawk's name correctly in the first place. But even then, if you were to try to retranslate the phoneticism of the Japanese Skahawk back to English, or at least to English, and not even just like a proper Irish or like ancient Irish. I don't even know the proper language for that. Then you would be under the presumption that her name is pronounced like Skaha or something like that. Skaha, yeah, Skaha. But that's not exactly correct. Like the th sound at the end is a hard K. Celtic, yes, Celtic. My bad. Thank you. Celtic, yes. Ancient Irish. What the fuck is that? Gaelic, Celtic. Definitely not ancient Irish. What the fuck am I smoking? Ancient Irish language is Gaelic. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, they can at least say Kuhuin's name right. I believe they do, but I haven't checked Ku's name like specifically. I think that I'm pretty sure they do, but again, who knows, right? Pretty sure they do, but cannot confirm or deny. Maybe Ku's name is just lucky that Javi has the right sounds. I mean, Ku's name is probably the easiest to pronounce among the bunch, other than like Fergus, and other than the fact that Theon is just an asshole, or something like that. I do kind of feel bad for him that his name is the way it is, at least to English speakers. Fucking Fion. Should we roll with Frank or try to? No, we'll just roll with Kindoki. Jean, Joan, or Juan, whatever. I've been told by chat that the proper French pronunciation is Jean or something like that. Literally Finn McCool. Yeah. Jean or Jan or whatever. That's probably Swedish pronunciation, to be honest. But Jean. I put a little extra spice on the accent just to make it sound extra French. Even though I'm American, I'll never get my French pronunciation right. But Jean. But me being an American and having American education, I learned Jean's name as Joan of Arc. So sometimes I refer to her as Joan, because that's obviously an easier and a simpler name to remember than Jean. Especially to pronounce, too. Don't let me forget about that. Joan is pronounced Jean. I mean, Joan is basically the English version of Jean anyway. I also like calling her Jeanne too. Or just plain Jean. Plain jeans. Jean wearing jeans. Jean will be forgotten once Saint Martha Ruler comes? No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. You do realize that the Japanese tier list does place Jean very high on the tier list right now, right? It's because of the fact that when she gets her interlude that buffs her MP and clears party debuffs and removes her stun, she becomes infinitely more useful. So, Martha Ruler, while she's good, is not going to replace Jean. I mean, no one really can, because it's kind of hard to beat a support MP that not only gives your team one turn invul, but also heals them and clears party debuffs. That's kind of hard to top, if we're going to be completely honest. Jean will be forgotten when Jalter comes out. Oh yeah, if you're talking about Jalter, then yeah, maybe. If you're talking about a Jalter, then yeah, sure. You know, you just call Arturia Arturia. I just call her Saber. I just call her Saber to the point where I even call her Archer form Saber Archer. I trigger people like that whenever I call her that. Saber Archer. Just like, lol. Memes top good gameplay though. As much as I appreciate a good meme, at some point I would rather concentrate on gameplay though. Now, here's the thing. The best situation is if we can combine gameplay and memes at the same time. Then, well, we got ourselves a perfect formula now, don't we? Imagine calling out for Arturia and saying Saber, and then a sixth of your roster responds. There are actually there's actually pieces of fan art and 4-comas out there that literally do just that. There's one that I've seen where a fan artist, an artist basically portrays a hypothetical situation in which Agravain becomes a summonable servant, and they show him being summoned, and then he meets the other knights at the round table, and he starts getting he starts having a fake heart attack because of all the stress that he's gotten from Camelot and all the PTSD, and then Gudako tries to help him by calling out for Arturia, and then all the Arturia clones come out, and then Agravain dies. Lol. So that's what I would imagine. Memes and gameplay sounds like Paul Bunyan. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Merlin's a meme and DW admits it. I mean, it's kind of hard for them to deny that. Even DW feels bad releasing Merlin. They fucking should. They fucking should. You're bad. DW is bad and they should feel bad. And they do in fact feel bad. Good. Emiya Archer needs a serious buff in JP version. He just needs a buff, period. Like, there's not really much of a point running him. Like, really, not even now. Like, there are already better archers than him. Like, Nobu is already a better archer than Emiya. And she's welfare. Are you fucking kidding me? Merlin broke the game balance. Yeah, no shit. Tell us something that we don't know. Do I read any spoiler of FGO 2? Yes, I watched I stayed up until 6 or 7 in the morning to watch their their New Year's live stream of them broadcasting the OVA, the little OVA that they made for FGO 2. Yeah, I watched that shit. Fucking watched that on a fucking bootleg Chinese stream. That's what I did. I'll be right back, guys. We're back. Gitia did nothing wrong, lol. Do I speak Japanese? I don't. I can speak and read a very and write a very little. Like, I have some knowledge, but I'm nothing fluent. Like, I can fluently read hiragana. I can kind of read katakana, but I know like a handful of kanji, but that's it. You're breaking a lot, dude. What do you mean? Oh, you mean the stream? Oh yeah, I've already explained why. It's due to the stream quality that I set as very high. So yeah, I'm going to tone the quality down for my next streams. Do you study from the Genki textbook? That's actually the same textbook that we did use, actually. So, yeah. In fact, what's really strange is that when I studied Japanese here in the States, and when I traveled abroad to Osaka, specifically Hirakata City, to study Japan study Japanese for a semester there, we actually use the exact same textbook. Which actually was kind of funny, but yeah. That was cool. You're worried about the power creep in part 2? Well, I mean, power creep has always been a thing, even in FGO 1, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna be there. Why worry about it when you already know it's gonna be there? Have I tried playing a Zero Lane? I know what a Zero Lane is, but I'm not gonna play it. Not because I have anything against that game. It's just my time is already being consumed by FGO. Don't really have much time for much else. Just pulled Chevalier yesterday. Are they any good? She's great as a tanky saber, a tank stall saber. Just don't put her against any berserkers or archers, and you should be fine. But currently, right now, we don't really have a stall or a tank meta at the moment, so she's not good now, but she'll be good later. You don't want to be stuck having to roll meme teams and only the meme teams? You don't have to. Who said you had to? You don't have to roll. You don't have to roll meme teams. Just roll for whoever you want. Say what you will, but in many ways, FGO has many of the same elements as a CCG. I mean, you're not. Not only are you not wrong, but in many ways, this is pretty much a CCG. I mean, you have a command deck with cards. Every server has 5 cards because they have a command deck that's made up of quick arts and buster cards. So your analogy is not actually that far off, to be honest with you. So yes, you are very much so correct. This is very much so a CCG. We just have the gotcha, quote unquote, as our card packs, quote unquote. Kappa. Do I have MP5 Orion? No, I have MP4, but not 5. Also, you also have a handful of trap cards. Haha. I mean, to be fair, the only true traps in this game are the only true trap is Astolfo. And if you really want to push it, you could try pushing for French saber, but yeah, that's only if you're one with the trap. FGO2 is good civ. They'll bring another T9. I mean, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. They could, you know, knowing DW, they could pull a fast one and be like, "Ha! You thought we were giving you another T9?" Big old middle finger, Kappa. Daeon is nowhere near the trap that Astolfo is. I mean, she's not a trap to begin with. If you select her gender to be male, then yeah, you could argue that she's a trap at that point. But yeah, probably no one's gonna top Astolfo as a trap though. French saber is a tranny though. Historically speaking, yes, she was actually a transgender. Is that the proper term? I don't even care to know all these gender terms. I don't give a shit. Chevalier is weird because he's not exactly a trap in real life. Yeah, I think the proper term was like transgender or something. So it says it's like good right now and worth putting time into. I've heard 2 sides to him. I've heard that one, Tesla is good. He's kind of like Drake in that he potentially can be a very good farmer. But it depends on whether or not he can proc his guts skill consistently. That gives him an 80% chance to give him an NP buff. And later on, it gets strengthened to a point where it gives him a flat attack buff as well on top of it. But I've also heard that while he's good at what he does, he's not the best. So he gets outclassed quickly by other people who basically do what he does even better. Case in point, Drake, and she's in the game before he was. No swearing on this Christian website. Get the fuck out of my Christian website. Hope we get more T9. Same here. I already don't like Okoye and Skya though. Fucking bitch. But we'll see it. We'll see more of her character. Probably. Oh, you have no idea what you're wishing for with more T9? Oh, I have every idea what we're wishing for T9. I have every idea. In fact, I have just as much of an idea as you do in wishing for more T9, mainly because of the fact that we don't even have much information on them to go off of to begin with, other than Talamo Bitch that just got released with that we know about now with FGO2. I'll have every idea. Don't you worry, good sir. I'll still wish for them anyway. Let me see here. Let's see if this works. Do I plan to MP2 all limited servers when they're released? Probably. It mainly depends on how hard it is for me to get them. It'll depend on how hard it is for me to get them. Like, Shisho, I got her MP3 very easily. So, there you go. Now, that's not necessarily to say that I'll have that exact same love with MHX, obviously, but we'll see. We'll see, I guess. Spoilers from JP to JP version. Yeah, I'm not really. I'm the type of guy who likes to look at what JP's getting. So if you don't want to get spoiled by JP, which is very hard to do because there are going to be JP spoilers everywhere anyway, it's best that you probably don't pay attention to chat. Just for your own sake. That lag though. People spoil the hell out of JP in general on FGO. I mean, well, yeah. The joke is that JP is the beta test for NA. Am I gonna MP5 Jalter? Probably not. The fandom final session art is hot. Okay. Not really what I was expecting someone to say, but you know, sure, why not? If you're into that. Chloe is better at being Emiya than Emiya in FGO, yes. Is there a limit to what I'm gonna pay to get MHX and Bryn if I get Ziz's level luck? Well, I'm just gonna have to rely on the fact that on the chance that I'm not going to get Ziz luck. Hopefully I don't, because I really don't want to be spending thousands of dollars on just one fucking servant. And if it gets really bad, then I may actually have to just let them go. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully, cross my fingers and knock on wood. You guys can hear that? The little knocking. But yeah. Emiya would be better if he had an NP arts card. Oh yes, he would be much better. Just tuned in, but how am all my starting servants having a 100% NP? Well, you see, there's this craft that's in the game called Kaleidoscope. K-Scope for short, and it's a 5-star craft essence, and its base effect is that it gives whoever's holding it an 80% charge gain, or 80% MP charge right off the bat, as soon as they enter battle. If you limit break it, i.e. you get 5 K-Scopes and you put them all into one, by combining them together under craft essences, its effect changes to where whoever's holding it gets a 100% MP charge right off the bat. Hence, turn 1 MP. And that's the basis of all farming whales in the game. Lol. Let me see. It's Fafnir, so let's swap out Carmilla. Or, I mean, swap out Darius for Carmilla, rather. Is there a servant who's not an FGO that I like to see making appearance? I've mentioned this before. We've discussed this quite a few times in previous streams, and I know chat loves to go wild with this, with their various memes of certain kinds. But the 2 that I would like to see, actually 3. There's 3. I know me being Korean by an ethnicity, and because of the fact that we currently don't have any Korean Korean representation in FGO, I would like to see some Korean servants, personally. The 2 that I'm thinking of are King Sejong and Admiral Lee Shunshin, two of the most famous figures in Korean history. King Sejong is the guy who basically invented the Korean language as we know it right now, the modern Korean language. So it'd be cool to see him as obviously a caster, because I don't know what else he would be. And the other one, Lee Shun-shin, is basically a very famous Korean admiral who repeatedly held off various Japanese invasions. I forget exactly when. I'm gonna have to research my Korean history again, because it's been a very long time. I used to know this a long time ago. But yeah, that, and my friend and I have been discussing if, like, we've been discussing his gameplay details if the Admiral guy could be a servant, and we actually genuinely think he can be a grand rider. So he'll obviously be a rider. We can actually just do this. Hard for them to include the Admiral? How so? I mean, the Korean FGO is now a thing, so it'd be perfect, right? Korean FGO, Korean servants? Nah, I'm just kidding. But if I could, assuming that I had the power to be able to put like a any historical figure into the game, then that would be my personal preference. Well, those are just two. The third one that I mentioned would be the Finnish sniper guy from the nice scale, from the Russo-Finnish War or whatever. His name is a little bit weird for English speakers to pronounce. It's like pronounced like Shimo Hauha or whatever. Anyone who's Finnish or Scandinavian in chat can probably pronounce that better than I ever can. But yeah, that's basically him. He's the guy who has literally the biggest kill streak in the game, or in human history. Kappa. Like no bullshit, or not even trying to meme. He has the longest kill streak in human history, with over like let me look up his details. He has a 700 plus confirmed kill record during the Russo whatever Finnish War, something like that. Let's see here, blah 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 blah. The Winter War of Finland, yes, that's what it is. I would like to see him, obviously he'd be an archer, obviously. Not really sure what else he could be. Like, all these servants that I'm listing off are very easy in terms of what classes they could be. Berserker Arc. I've actually discussed with other people on Discord like potential classes for Tsukihime characters. Arc. It's kind of hard to put like vanilla Arc as classify her as anything, because like she's not exactly a berserker. Like Red Arc is. Red Arc is most definitely berserker material, but regular Arc is a little bit weird. Like, how would you really classify her? Because she doesn't use any weapons, so she can't be a part of the Knight class, any of the Knight classes. Like she mainly fights with her hands, right? So what kind of class is she gonna be if she's not gonna be a berserker? Put her in the foreigner class, but she's not exactly a foreigner. Like, you do realize that in order for a servant to classify or to be able to qualify for the foreigner class, they need to have been exposed to an otherworldly environment, or like an otherworldly god or whatever, right? That's how both Abigail and Hokusai became foreigners, is because they came into contact with otherworldly beings. So I wouldn't think that Arc qualifies for that. I don't think so, anyway. I mean, she could have. My Tsukihime lore is admittedly not up to par, but I don't think that's the case. Art could just run as a caster. I don't know. She's a little bit too brawly to be a caster. But then again, we have someone like the single target Chinese tit monk girl or whatever. We do have someone like that, so maybe. I'm not sure. Have I seen the new FGO anime OVO that was released a few days ago? I watched it live when they broadcast it as part of the JP New Year's stream. I watched it live, so yes, I did. Altera should have a foreigner class if those are the requirements. No, that's not true, because Altera never came into contact, as far as I'm aware anyway, with an otherworldly being. She's from space. She herself might be classified as an otherworldly being, but that's not exactly the same as meeting a Lovecraftian god. So technically, maybe if you twist the definition of what you want to define as otherworldly being, but as far as the current foreigner servants go, Altera does not qualify. Because Altera, as far as I'm aware, has never physically met an otherworldly being like a Cthulhian god or whatever, or a Lovecraftian god. So Altera cannot work. Altera cannot be a foreigner. Genghis Khan Berserker? Maybe. I don't know. I would see Genghis as more of a writer personally. With the whole Mongolian horde and whatnot. Genghis, Kublai Khan, all the other Khans, something like that. Titan Altera would be a beast class. I mean, you also keep in mind that if you want to qualify as a beast, you have to pose as a huge threat to humanity as a whole. So if Titan Altera does qualify for does be that, then yeah, probably a playable beast class. Cool. Let's just end the world right now. Woohoo! Lovecraft as a caster. Lovecraft would probably be a foreigner himself, to be honest. Probably. Assuming DW cooks up some backstory for him that after he died, he actually did meet up with a foreign god or whatever. The problem with that, Mehem, is the fact that that would be extremely controversial. So we obviously can't have that. If DW wants to decide that they want to throw FGO down the drain, then yeah, maybe. But obviously they're not gonna do that. Genghis Khan for Grand Rider, I would say Admiral Yushin over him, but we'll see. But Genghis Khan probably could also qualify as Grand Rider. But the problem is that he himself is not he himself isn't really a true Grand Rider, because it was his armies that rode across the steppes. He himself didn't last for very long, I don't think. Unless I'm getting my Mongolian history completely fucked up, which is also a genuine possibility. Let's use Zio as a Kintoki. LJ's Jack is nice. Oh yeah. LJ's Jack is very nice. It's funny that you mentioned that Mehem FDR as a writer, because Teddy Roosevelt would be a great writer candidate with his Rough Riders. Teddy Roosevelt, the American president, he would be very good. I can definitely see him as a writer class. Then again, we have so many writer classes anyway, which isn't really their fault, because a lot of rulers / leaders could very easily qualify as writers. Obviously, like, you know, Iskander, Ozzy. Like that. A lot of rulers and leaders tend to be writers to begin with. I mean, unless you count Edison. He wasn't a president in real life now, was he? Teddy would destroy. Oh yeah, I would love to see Teddy Roosevelt as a writer. Come along, he's like, "Hey, what's Edison doing in my presidential office?" Kicks him out. Lol. What are you doing in my office? Hannibal and Napoleon for Ryder. I don't know about Hannibal, but maybe Napoleon. But even that, I don't know about Napoleon either. Actually, but then again, I don't know what Napoleon would be, to be honest. Funny that you mentioned Hannibal and Napoleon, because now I'm thinking of their AU Sankey counterparts, like how they're portrayed in AU Sankey. If they give us a Napoleon that's kind of like AU Sankey Napoleon, or hell, if they just do a straight up AU Sankey collab, which they'll never do, but a man can dream, I guess. I would be very happy. Cause I really like Napoleon and AU Sankey, that's for sure. Napoleon Archer as artillery. But the problem is that if you want to classify as an archer, you actually have to use something yourself. I don't think Napoleon, like, shot artillery directly. So that would be kind of a problem. Hannibal literally rode elephants. I mean, if he himself rode elephants, then that's fine. It's just that his army was more known for using elephants to cross over the Alps. I'm not too sure if he himself rode elephants. If he did, then yeah, he would obviously classify as a rider for riding elephants. But we need to just have proof that he himself actually rode elephants at some point. Which there probably is, to be honest. There probably is. And even then, it wouldn't be that hard for DW to bullshit some reason for him to be a rider anyway. Hey, his army used elephants! He must be a rider! Easy. Xerxes. Xerxes? I actually don't know. I mean, Ozzy is technically a rider, so maybe Xerxes could also be a rider too. I'm not sure. Maybe that or a caster. Not sure what else he'd be though. So. Ben Franklin as a caster. Oh yeah, most definitely. Ben Franklin would most definitely be a caster. If Edison is a caster, then Franklin has to be one too. Him and Tesla can be best buds, because Tesla looks up to Franklin, I believe, if his interlude is any indication. Nobunaga probably picked up a rifle and pulled the trigger at one point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that you bring up a good point. Easy mode. If Nobunaga equipped all equipped his entire army with rifles, then Hannibal can be a rider just because of the fact that his army used the elephants. Cool. Let's call it a day. Good job, boys. Call it in. FGO lore is so expansive it gets complicated. Well, that's Type Moon in it. That's Type Moon lore in a nutshell. George Washington, ruler. Or rider. Could be either. We could also have Andrew Jackson as an archer. He can basically be a better Billy. Lol. Hey, what's up, Richard? How's it going? That moon makes up convoluted shit anyway. Well, it sounds like basically every other expansive anime universe. I base George Washington to be a ruler just because of the fact that he didn't want to serve more terms as president, even though people wanted him to. He was like, "Nah, I don't want to be president. I just want to go back to my estate and just, you know, chill, be a farmer, be a farming man. Go home and be a farming man." That's what I based my reasoning off of. The fact that he just wants to just go home and be a farmer. Would Bruce Lee count as a servant? No, he's way too recent. He's way too recent. Unless Bunny Girl Rio servant has anything to say about that, but Andrew Jackson could be a berserker. Hilariously enough, people have speculated that Abraham Lincoln could be a berserker because when he was younger, he could get angry very easily. So Abe could be a berserker, and I would actually buy that. We've also had that one really shitty movie about Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. So hey, if America did it first, Japan can certainly follow. Isaac Newton, a 5-star caster. Hey, I buy it. Newton in my waifu simulator. Oh yes, thank you very much. Give me my nerdy scientist. While we're at it, might as well bring in Voltaire, right? Gender swap Voltaire and make him a 5-star caster. Make her, I guess, a 5-star caster. Would a more recent being be as strong / stronger than an older being given up to levers? It'd be very hard. By that point, I think how it works is that if you want a more historically recent servant to be stronger than, say, an older servant who's like more based on like ancient like myths or something like that, or like just ancient history or whatever, you would have to have contributed to history in such a significant way, or in a significant enough way to have that actually be a thing. Like, your contributions need to be all that much more important for you to be able to match their power. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me. Don't at me. Or however the hell it actually works. Something like that. If you don't get a saber, lion as berserker, you're gonna riot. As an example, you think Genghis could be more powerful than Ozzy? I mean, it's kind of hard to top Ozzy as a rider in this game, but yeah, sure, maybe. Dang it, no scale. Mother Teresa assassin, Johnny Appleseed as caster because of American folklore, but how would be a caster? I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to give him any other class though, right? Like, he's not a writer, he's definitely not an assassin. What? Could he classify as a lancer? Or no, I don't know, not even lancer. I'm thinking Paul Bunyan. What the hell kind of class could someone like fucking Johnny Appleseed fall into? We should have gotten Vampire Hunter Lincoln. I just mentioned that earlier. DW could take some inspiration from that one movie that that turned Abe Lincoln into a vampire slayer, and to make him a berserker just for the lulz. Proto Merlin when? Yeah, I asked myself the same thing. Release Proto Merlin. Make her the quick version of Merlin. Perfect. Then the quick cards are saved. They're resurrected. Lol. Kappa. Not sure if I asked, but defenseless. I don't know a defenseless person. I don't know enough of them to really make an educated opinion on them. The guy who speared Moby Dick as a lancer. you guys are going fucking ratchet with your memes right now. Could Loki be a servant? I mean, we have other Norse gods. We have other like mythological figures as servants by already. So hey, if DW wants to bullshit enough, then yeah, they could have Loki as a servant. But that's up to them. That's up to them. You'd rather have Morgan Le Fay as the quick Merlin? Hey, put both Morgan and Proto Merlin into the game. Solves all our problems solved. All our problems solved. DW never promised never to repeat the Merlin mistake, though. I mean, yeah, sure, but giving us a quick-based Merlin isn't exactly breaking that promise now, is it? Somehow I feel like archers are fond of you. I feel that way about lancers, which, you know, makes sense for me. Lol. Damn it. Maybe I should have stuck with that Sigma's Jack. DW rules are like Grail money. They're gonna, or like Grail rules are gonna be bent in the name of money. I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Guess we'll just have to go with Gotcha's friend. I think there's way too many Lancers in FGO in general. Are there? Let me take a look. So in the Lancer class we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 5, 25, 27. We have 27 Lancers total in the game, compared to something like the Sabers where we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 24. So there are more Lancers than Sabers, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 24 Archers. So Lancers are already 24. Riders. How many Riders do we have? I mean, there are a lot of the Lancer class. From what it seems like, seems to be one of the classes that have the most amounts of that has the most number of actual servants in that class, but it's not by much. So, are there too many Lancers? No, I wouldn't say so. Ironically, Caster G is surprisingly rare as a result. Yeah, because he's in story. You can only summon him from story node or during raid ups. So. Playing this game is suffering. Yeah, you're telling me. More low-level sabers. I mean, part of the problem is the fact that there are no sabers that are less than 3-star. So naturally, they're just not gonna have as many low rarity sabers. Just from that alone. But who would roll story gacha? Definitely not me. Curious if we'll ever see Percival. I just remembered Ayu Senki's Percival. Oh god. We need Olga as an Avenger. Yes, I agree. 5-star Avenger Olga when. Will wail for 5-star Avenger Olga. Will wail. As if I don't anyway. The Iliad banner? Put Achilles in that banner and Penny will have all the time in the world wrecking the fuck out of Achilles. The Saber Wars is all the more for the entire party. From what I understand, if you get the Star of Artoria, whatever, CE, that's a 50% increase in damage for the entire party. So those ones work for the entire party, yes. The other one, the purely Bloom, only works for the person, the servant who's holding it. From what I understand. Teammate can be summoned? No, not right now. Unless something funky happens in FGO2. Which we'll find out soon enough, I guess. Can we get Don Quixote? I know that's Spanish, but I just can't pronounce that for the life of me. Can we get him as a servant? I mean, maybe. I'm sure he qualifies, considering he's a very famous Spanish literary folktale, or something like that. Is Matthew useful anywhere in the game besides being waifu material? Yes, actually, she is. She will be very good in the future. You just need to wait until she gets good. And the only way she gets good is through the story. So, she eventually hits SR status, and and her NP gets an upgrade. And I think she already has a third skill, and just with her third skill alone, she's actually very good with her taunt skill and her invul. Like, it's very good. She's already very good right now, but she comes even better later on. And plus, you actually have to remember that she has no party costs. So if you want to save on party costs, just throw her into the party too. I'm using LJ's Jack, so this should just be a fucking wipe. Don Quixote. Okay. I figured it was something like that. Don Quixote. Quixote. I've taken Spanish lessons when I was like in middle school, like basically like maybe half a year, something like that. Half a year. Is Kasugi worth it? No. His skills suck. The only reason why you're ever going to use him is if you have him MP5 and you want to use him for Assassin Daily Farm, because he has a Buster AoE NP. But other than that, no, he's crap. He's utter dog shit. As he should be. If Matthew upgrades to SSR, you can do a full SSR team, but she only goes up to 4 stars, not 5 stars. She never becomes 5 stars, not even in JP. San Martin, Liberator of South America. Hey, we need more South American representation, that's for sure. I'm all about equal representation, man. And considering how big, like, South America in general, just generally speaking, South America in general, how big they are, how big of fans they are of, like, you know, Japanese works and whatnot, and anime, you know, whatever. Because KOF is definitely very big in South America. Like South America is criminally underrated in most Japanese media, in my opinion. KOF 14 made it a little bit better because they actually did have a fair bit of South American representation in that. One of whom was basically a Brazilian guy as a Japanese ninja. But hey, you know. Shimo Haohao is way too recent. I mean, maybe, but he established it's not really a legend, but he established his historical fame back in war before World War in the Winter War of Finland, and that was like 1930 something, which isn't that far off from our most recent servants who were like you know, Edison, Tesla, Helena. Like, they're not that far off, like, not really. Like, 50 years is not a very long time in terms of the time frame that we have for the variety of servers that we have in the game, so I don't see anything wrong with that. That, and you can't really argue, I mean, you can, I guess, because Shimo Haohao was actually just a normal historical human being, but the fact that he has the highest confirmed number of career kills in human history is pretty amazing, if I do say so myself. That, and at one point he even had the record for the longest confirmed distance kill in the world until an American soldier topped it in Vietnam. And coincidentally enough, that American soldier who beat Shimo's record was a fan of Shimo. So, yeah, I would still think that Shimo qualifies as an archer. I mean, obviously, on a pure power level, he doesn't compare to someone like, you know, Gil or whatever. Even though I'm obviously using an exaggerated example, but I still think he's pretty fucking good. Like, Shimo is a very easy servant to set up. Like, his skills are very easy to think of, and his MP is perfect. Cause there was this one time when he ambushed a group of Russian soldiers, and he shot 8 of them in a row with a single bullet, an 8-man collateral, pretty much, in you FPS gamer meme terms. And the Russian soldiers thought they were getting shot at all at the same time by multiple snipers, and they just ran away, even though it was just him, Shimo, by himself. So that's his MP. Basically bending reality to so that he can shoot people in 8 different places at once, or something like that. Barring a figure that was famous, but be the cutoff? Maybe, yeah. Because if you have it too recent, then it gets into the it just barges into the territory of like, you know, like, do you really want to talk about this person when their memory is so recent? Something like that. So obviously you do have to be careful, but yeah. The one thing that I would say, the one difficulty that I can see in implementing someone like Shimo into FGO is the fact that his family still survives. Like, his family's still around, so I believe anyway. So maybe DW would have to contact his family for permission to use him. I don't know. I don't know how that works. kind of a weird thing to think about. But the game has too many lollies. I agree. We need more. Legal waifus in the game. I agree. Multi-dimensional refraction phenomenon. I imagine that Shimo, because of his incident where he shot 8 people in a row with a single bullet and made the people he was shooting at think that they were getting shot at by multiple snipers instead of just one guy, I would think that DW could give him something like that, like something along the lines of Kojiro's reality warping shit, where he attacks in 3 places at once or something like that, and something like that, where he basically shoots people from multiple locations at the same time to make them think that they're getting shot at by multiple people instead of just him by himself. So I could definitely see that. It's just that Shimo is a very easy servant to make a servant into. Because if you think about it, he's an archer. He's an archer, obviously, because you know he was a sniper. You give him evade false, eye of the mind false, because it wasn't like he was trained in evading stuff, but he more so because he was a very good sniper because of favorable conditions, his own tactics of keeping himself hidden, and his general knowledge of the Finnish terrain that obviously he's basically fighting at home, so he knows the terrain. So he has Eye of the Mind false. That, and it's also perfect for him because it increases his crit damage, and he probably has independent action either 8+ or EX. I would personally give Shimo independent action EX, cause yeah, he's just that good. At the very least, independent action A. So he'd be a fucking crit monster. He would have a skill that would be kind of like Nobu's Demon King, where it increases crit damage and increases his crit star pull. And then for his third skill, it would probably be something like, you know, more crit damage or whatever, something like that. I don't know. I'm just ranting on about you know, possible servants now, because now by this point I'm just fanboying. Lol. Hey, what's up, Misaki? How's it going, dude? Rogi, Shiki being a mom is already a risk to her safety. Hey, man. Shiki mom. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. You're just imagining DW calling his family to ask you to put a gender-bent lolly version into the Japanese phone game. You know, you do know for a fact that there is actually a manga out there that portrays Shimohauha as a gender swap, as a gender flip. There is a manga like that out there. I know there is one for a fact. Unfortunately, from what I've heard, it's not that great, but you know, it does exist. It certainly does exist. Helping one of the gurus learn how to stream. Oh, okay. Am I streaming until maintenance? I'm actually gonna stream for another half an hour or so, and I'm gonna head out because I got other plans for tonight. So not quite until maintenance, but pretty close. Pretty close. Same, just scared how Type Moon might kill her just for being a mom. I mean, Shiki is I think Nasu loves Shiki a little bit too much just to let her go that easily. I think she'll be fine for now, just to knock on wood, just to knock the jinx her, but I think she'll be fine. For now, anyway. How many quartz am I gonna plan on using until, on the MHX banner? Until I get her. But hopefully not too many. Hopefully not too many. Well, Battlefam, the problem with that is that FGO has already established that gun users and firearm users are already classified as archers, which makes sense because the bare definition, the bare minimum of you being an archer is just you using a weapon that is based on projectiles, or something like that. So unfortunately, we won't really ever get a gunner class because that's kind of already an archer. That's already falling under archer categories. So. As cool as I would be, because I'm a huge firearms fan myself, me also being an FPS fan, which makes sense, I don't think that's gonna happen, no. Because then you're just gonna have two classes that basically mean the same thing. Who is my favorite servant and why? Tamamo, because waifu? I don't know, that's an easy answer. That's a cop-out answer, to be honest, but, you know, it is an answer. Maria, oh yeah, yeah, I know who you're talking about, Jeffrey. I've read about her. Yeah, it'd be cool to see her as another Russian servant. That'd be very cool. Same, like maybe they could do like an alternate World War II singularity where people like Maria and Shimohauha and other famous World War II figures like. Not like Hitler, but soldiers, like people who actually fought in the war, and can be servants like that. Because in World War I, there was this Irishman. I forget his ethnicity, but there was this Irishman or someone from the UK who literally fought World War I with a bow and arrow, and he survived that war. Like, put that motherfucker into the into the game, please. Like a World War something singularity where we have famous people from either World War. It doesn't have to be World War II or just World War I or just World War II, but famous soldiers, famous generals or whoever from either World War, and then put them into a singularity and see what happens. Like, I would be a huge fan of that because I'm a fan of not only war history but also recent modern history. So obviously modern war history just makes total sense. Something like that would be really fucking cool. So that we can have, you know, obviously Patton, Irwin, everyone like that, basically. Yeah. Yeah, the guy who fought World War II with the Claymore, bow and arrows. What a champion! What a champ! Actually, since I'm actually kind of interested, let me see who it was who fought it. Let me look him up real quick. Jack Churchill. Jack Churchill was his name. British officer who fought World War II armed with a longbow, bagpipes, and a broadsword, a Scottish broadsword, basically a claymore. What a champ! And I think he survived the war too. Yeah, he survived the war. He fucking survived the war. What a guy. And he actually died very recently, 1996. That wasn't a long time ago, dude. That wasn't a long time ago. What a guy. Well, the thing is that Jack can qualify either, because you see, like, we already have Tomoe Gozen in the game, who uses arrows and a naginata. So, but she's technically qualified as an archer because of her NP, or something like that. I don't know the exact reasoning. So, Jack Churchill could qualify as like multiple classes, right? Obviously a saber because he used a claymore, and then an archer because he used a bow and arrow. I mean, hell, he could even qualify as a caster too because he played bagpipes. If it weren't for those Yankees, we could have fought for 10 years more. Rip. Rip. Wouldn't Jack Churchill count as Berserker? I mean, maybe. Maybe he could qualify as Berserker. Because considering the circumstances, you would have to be fucking out of your mind to fight a war like that with just a claymore and bows and arrows. That, and I think he was kind of an eccentric person in life himself, like in actual real life. So yeah, maybe Berserker, saber, and archer, Kappa. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Joshua, I'm not very familiar with Fate Strange Fake, so I don't know very many servers from that series. Like, I literally only know like Jekyll and Hyde, and that's it. Or something. Churchill was already empowered by Madness Enhancement while alive. Madness Enhancement EX as a servant. Lol. Would he make it to the Throne of Heroes in the first place? For a guy who literally fought a modern war with guns and artillery with just a broadsword and a bow and arrow, I think he's a hero to many people. Let's be honest. Bob Ross Lily. Jesus. Just happy trees. What would Jack's NP be? I don't know. You come up with that. Richard the Lionheart would be pretty badass. I heard that Richard, from people that Richard does qualify as a Grand Saber, if I'm not mistaken. Would I take Admiral Nishimura as a rider? You mean Nishimura of the Nishimura Fleet of the Imperial Japanese Navy? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. More than Nishimura, I would rather take who was it? What's his name? Fletcher? Was the Fletcher class destroyers? No, it wasn't Fletcher, it was Johnston. USA Johnston. Let's see. Johnston. No, it wasn't this one. what was her right? Lieutenant Commander Ernest E. Evans. He was the captain of an American destroyer by the name of the USS Johnston, and yeah, Johnston and a couple other American destroyers basically suicide themselves to save a bigger American fleet while they were retreating from where is it, Lake Gulf or Surigao Strait or something like that. If I'm getting my history correct. I'd rather see him as a writer. If you can't beat Grand Saber, just make sure every Saber looks like you. Perfect idea. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and swap out those. Here's all the translation you need for a strange fake. No one's fucking dying. You're all caught up. So basically, strange fake is the polar opposite of fate then. Grand Assassin is already Gramps. Yeah, pretty much I think, right? He just nerfed himself so that he could be summoned. Neil Armstrong as a foreigner, no. Unless DW cooks up a story for him that he met an otherworldly god during his orbits, but no. Yes, Archer Herc is actually a thing. He can qualify for every class in the game except for Caster, I believe. Alright, cool, another scale. Just one more scale to go. Hopefully I can get it before I get off stream, but we'll see. Of course, Neil Armstrong met otherworldly gods in space. You're practically right in the chat for DW, Cap. Don't underestimate DW, they'll do it. Oh, I know they'll do it. I know they'll do it. They've done crazier shit in the past. I know that. Lovecraft is a grand foreigner? I mean, considering he's the one who made them. Maybe. Is there even a grand foreigner? Grand foreigner is probably Cthulhu himself, or herself, or itself, or whatever. DW secretly watching this stream for new ideas. Oh, I wish. I fucking wish. Let me know if they put in Admiral Yishunshin or King Sejong or Shimo Haoha into the game. Let me know. I'll demand royalties. I'll fucking demand royalties. That moment when you realize King Hassan made himself summonable by relinquishing his Grand Assassin position, yeah, he's a good guy. That's why we call him Gramps. He's a homie. He's a bro, basically. Imagining the next NA broadcast and they barrage these to them, the cringe fest. They'll never talk about like shit like this though. So, rip. They'll never talk about shit like this. Got 36 golden apples. What have I got? 80 rapples. 80 Saint Quartz. That's better than your golden apples, Kappa. Sega's Grand Saber? Well, not the way he's in this game right now, no. Yeah, they'll talk about dumb forced memes. Something like that, right? Hey, what's up, Byakuya Togami? How's it going, dude? But seriously, we need more North American and South American servers. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, NA and SA are criminally underrated. Well, then again, you could argue the same for EU, I guess, but... Like, they even said that there were more NA servants in the America chapter, it's just that they all died by the time the Singularity starts focusing on NA. So there are in fact more NA servants, it's just they never had a need to expand on that, like, and describe who they are because they are already dead. Thanks to, no thanks to Meb and Ku Alter, but hey, whatever. That and every single Japanese media that portrays like American Native Americans, they always go for Geronimo for some reason. Like, why can't they focus on other famous Native American figures like Sacagawea or Crazy Horse or someone like that, right? Like, Geronimo's already in AU Senki, and he's in FGO. We can't have some sort of variety in our Native American representation here? Alright, cool. Got all of Beowulf's scales now. Just need to actually, all my scales, I actually got all the scales that I need now. I actually don't need to farm more, but I'll farm more anyway. NA representative, Billy the Kid, Thomas Edison, for Mexico is Quetzalcoatl, Jaguar Man for Mexico as well, yeah. I mean, it'd be cool if we could have, like, Mexican folk heroes, or whatever. If anyone's familiar with the Spanish or Mexican folklore. Like, it'd be cool to have them. SA representative, none. Yeah, in the game, yeah. I almost thought that you were saying that just to insult the SA people, but no, yeah, in the game, no. So, people like Simon Bolivar, San Martin, whoever someone else mentioned. Paul Bunyan is shared with Canada and America. Yeah, that's true. Pancho Villa. Yeah, definitely recognize that name. Bunyan, what is America, but he has French Canadian roots, and also FGO Paul Bunyan reflects that because she sprinkles some French into her dialogue. If you listen to her My Room lines, she actually speaks a little bit of French, Canadian French, but French nonetheless. Yeah, he's part of both, yeah. Robots become servants? Not exactly. Charles Babbage put himself into a robot, and then now he's a servant. But robots by themselves cannot be summoned as servants, I don't think. If she breathes, she's a thought. Be gone, thought. I can't pronounce it like that. I can't say it the same. French Canadians aren't real people. Wow, you're mean. You're fucking mean. Jeez. But then again, I guess you could say the same for like people like Frankenstein, that is. Now there's a giant robot servant who's not a robot. Oh, you mean Mecha Liz? But she's a little bit weird. She's weird, Mecha Liz. Lol. She's weird. Why is Mecha Liz even a thing? I don't know. But hey, free alter ego server for everyone. Dracula as a servant. I mean, we kind of already have him. Vlad the Third. Vlad Berserker. He's kind of that. Liz is basically the joke FGO for now. I mean, you could argue that for her appearances in like CCC. So, I mean, it's not just FGO. Will I become a heroic spirit if I collect all other heroic spirits? I don't think that's how it works, but you know. By that point, I'd just be called a whale, and whales are not servants or heroic spirits. Liz won't stop when she has representative in all classes. Yeah, I wish. I fucking wish. Alright, boys. I don't really want to end the stream now when we're already having so much fun, but it's almost 7 o'clock and I already have plans for tonight, so this is where I'm going to stop streaming. This is actually a perfect time for me to stop streaming because I got all the skills that I want today. I'm already very low on APs and I don't want to refill them now. But, yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming my Salt for MHX live in about, I don't know, like 19 hours from now. I'll just pay attention to my YouTube and like around like 2 or 1 or 2ish Pacific Standard Time, and you'll see when I go live. But yeah, come join me then, and we'll see if I fail to get MHX or if Jack spooks me finally. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys want to watch the VOD for this stream, it'll be up in about an hour or so. YouTube takes a little bit of time to process the VOD completely so you can see the entire thing, but it'll be up there. So, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for hanging out with me in stream tonight. And have a good night to everyone. And if it's nighttime wherever you're living, or good evening, good morning, whatever, yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys tomorrow. And hype for Saber Wars.